Good evening and welcome. You're watching Breaking Views, a show where we get you all the views so that you get the complete picture. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. Now, in election season, whenever a state goes to polls, certain comments are made. Lots of comments are made. Some comments make great impact. The others create a political impact, but not much of an impact on the results. And there are others that create a political impact also and then impact the results also. And they are considered very, frivolous comments. Name calling, personally attacking. Now, in the past, we have seen that there have been attempts, there have been incidents where a comment has been made and it is said and it is believed that that comment impacted the result of the election. In this Gujarat election too, two such comments have been made. The Bharatiya Janata Party feels that this is definitely going to impact the result because a personal insult has been heaped on the Prime Minister. Will that happen or not? We will know soon. What is this comment? Let's first play out. Mallikarjun Kharge, who is the Congress president, he made a comment. He says, his party says in a context, but now the BJP has spun it around. Let's first listen into what Mr. Kharge said.
आप किसी को मत देखो, मोदी को देखकर वोट दो। अब भाई तुम्हारे को तुम्हारी सूरत कितनी बार देखना? कारपोरेशन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमएलए इलेक्शन भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमपी इलेक्शन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, हर जगह कितने भाई क्या आपके रावण के जैसा 100 मुख है क्या है?
So this is a recent comment where Mallikarjun Kharge says that everywhere you are, it's only your face. How many faces do you have? Do you have 100 faces like Ravan? Now, one point that must be mentioned here is that Ravan is known to have 10 faces, not 100. But what has happened is that the Bharatiya Janata Party lapped it up and made this into a huge issue, and they've linked it to the previous incidents where the Congress party had made certain personal comments against the Prime Minister. Now, in the past, even about a week ago, when the Prime Minister was campaigning in Gujarat, there was an earlier comment in this election season where Madhusudan Mistry, leader of the Congress party, said Modi ko Aukaat yaad dila denge. To that Aukaat comment, that comment was lapped up by the Prime Minister. As always, it was done earlier also. Listen to what the Prime Minister had to say exactly last week.
એક કોંગ્રેસ વાળા કહે છે આ મોદીને એની औकात બતાવી દઈશું औकात मोदी को उसकी औकात दिखा देंगे अरे माँ बाप તમે તો બધા રાજ પરિવારો છો હું તો એક સામાન્ય પરિવારનું સંતાન છું મારી કોઈ औकात નથી બાપા અમારી કોઈ औकात નથી મહેરબાની કરીને વિકાસના મુદ્દાની ચર્ચા કરો અને આ ગુજરાતને વિકસિત ગુજરાત બનાવવા માટે આવો મેદાનમાં આ औकात બનાવવાના ખેલ રવા દો ભાઈ.
So what he's trying to say in Gujarati is that you don't talk about aukat. If you really want to talk about something, then please talk about issues of development. But who has brought this issue into a poll campaign? First the comment and then the retort. Both these political parties. And this is not a recent phenomenon. On the 1st of December 2007, a comment was made, and the comment was that the truth is that those running the government of Gujarat today are liars, dishonest, and traders of fear and death. Maut ka saudagar comment in 2007 was made by the then Congress President Sonia Gandhi. This was lapped up by the BJP, by the then Chief Minister Narendra Modi, taken to town in each and every election rally, and then later political pundits said this comment could have changed the election in favor of the BJP. On the 17th of January 2014, Manishankar Iyer, leader of the Congress party, said Modi will not become the Prime Minister in 21st century. If he wants to distribute chai here at the Congress plenary session, he can. Chai wala comment. Again, the Prime Minister held Chai Pe Charcha. This was spun around into an election campaign to basically highlight the very humble origins of the Prime Minister, that this is Chai wala versus a very elite party. On the 7th of December 2017, the same gentleman, Mr. Manishankar Iyer, said, I think he's a niche type of a man, like a low-level man. He is not civilized. What was the need to do such dirty politics on this occasion? Manishankar Iyer made this comment in 2017, just ahead of the Gujarat elections. When this niche comment was made, it was immediately converted in election rallies as a comment on the Prime Minister's caste. And on the 12th of November 2022, Madhusudan Mistry said, we want to show Modi his aukat. You heard what Narendra Modi had to say last week. And today on the 29th of November, how many forms do you have? Do you have 100 heads like Ravan? This is the Congress President, Mallikarjun Kharge. Now it's not just the Congress party which has attacked Narendra Modi. There are equal barbs that come in from the other side also. For instance, 15th November 2013. He was not the Prime Minister then. But Narendra Modi said, Shehzada says we have to change the system. Who put these systems in place for the last 60 years? Who made them Shehzade? Your father, your grandmother, your grandfather put these systems in place and then destroyed them for vested interests. The use of the word Shehzada, personal attack. On the 4th of December 2018, another comment made. Who was the widow who used to take this money? He was talking about a reference to some ill-gotten wealth. Who was the Congress's widow in whose account money was going? 50 crore ki girlfriend. That's the sort of comment that was made. Now, at this point, Narendra Modi was the Prime Minister. So, these personal attacks and the language used has been a problem on both sides. But who capitalizes on it and converts it into political currency and uses it to its advantage? It seems that the BJP has had a better strike rate at doing this, using a comment and converting it into a political opportunity. So in this election season, in 2017, you see there was a comment in 2007, comment in 2014, comment in 2017, and now in 2022 elections from the Congress party, two such comments have come in, Aukaat and Ravan. The big question is, has the Congress literally handed over an opportunity to the BJP? Here, beat us up with this. Is that what has happened? Or will this not work this time around? Let me introduce all our guests. Geeta Bhatt is a political analyst. Ajay Umat is a journalist. Manisha Priyam, political analyst and a journalist. Gurdeep Singh Sapal from the Congress party and Karuna Gopal from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Sapal, thank you very much everyone. Mr. Sapal, I want to come to you first. Was this comment really required? I mean, you know for a fact that in the past, certain comments and whatever context they may have been made in have been used by the BJP as political tool against you successfully.
Sanket, first of all, I would like to register my protest on the words used by BJP against the Congress President, Mr. Kharge. Amit Malviya says that he has been pushed to fringe, and Sambit Patra says that it is not his words, he has been asked to speak, or to say tutored by Mrs. Gandhi to speak these words. Now BJP knows they are talking about Congress President who has a past record of 55 years in political life. They know he's an educated lawyer. They know because they have been in opposition in Karnataka that he has been a home minister credited with eliminating the menace of Virappan. They know he was the industries minister who introduced single window policy for the first time in this country, leading to industrialization of Karnataka. They know he was the minister who successfully implemented the best practice of land reform in country. They know he's not the person who can be tutored, but they are trying to say this and trying to project because they cannot accept a person coming from a disadvantaged background that he can speak his mind. And this is highly reprehensible. This is something that BJP has done time and again. They cannot see that person from a disadvantaged community is now ruling this, is at the top of the Congress party. That's one thing. Now, number two, what are we saying in Gujarat? We are saying that there are 10 issues in Gujarat. 10 issues are like 10 sir of Ravan, 10 heads of Ravan. Unemployment, drug and spurious liquor, then price rise, then corruption. Corruption is such that it is called Vyavahar in Gujarat now. If you ask your correspondents there, the corruption has become a way of life. The Gujaratis are using the term vyavahar for corruption now. Then the COVID mismanagement was there. Then the farmers' suicide. Education, the schools are shut down. There are the teachers' vacancies are there. The Morbi, on Morbi issue, the persons who handed over the tender and who issued the tender and who received the tender have not been named in FIR.
Correct.
MSMEs.
Now these are all very, very important points, Mr. Sapal, that you are making.
Sanket.
Very important point, Mr. Sapal. But you know, my limited question over here.
Let me complete.
You are raising very, see, I have very limited time, Mr. Sapal. That is why, let me come
I'll just finish in 1 minute. I'll finish in 1 minute.
No, 1 minute.
These are 10 issues like 10 heads of Ravan. Whom do we take these to? Nobody knows the chief minister. Nobody knows the minister.
Correct.
Mr. Modi himself.
Very important point. But then when you, here is the thing, you know that there is a known history, Mr. Sapal. Mr. Sapal, there is a known record of certain comments made, the context of which according to you are misrepresented or misunderstood, and yet comments are made and certain words are picked up and used politically against you.
If you had been there yesterday, you should have seen the crowds who did not misinterpret it. This is media, this is today's BJP's thing, trying to attack Mr. Kharge on an issue to divert the debate, because debate in Gujarat today is on performance.
Karuna Gopal, the Congress party says that samajhne wale samajh gaye, and now you are spinning this around. Spinning this around like you always do is the allegation of the Congress party.
Tell me, where do we take this 10 heads of Ravan? Let BJP answer to this. Because Modi ji says, मैं हूँ गुजरात में, किसी भी चुनाव के लिए मैं हूँ.
So, Sanket, just like the Congress spokesperson said, I too have some 3 points. First of all, I think I am appalled, just as the country is, to listen to a senior Congress person use words like Ravana against the serving Prime Minister. And it doesn't befit or doesn't become, a nice thing for an octogenarian, a senior leader, to use words like that. It is completely bereft of decency or decorum. Point 2, when he used the word 100 heads, we know it's a technical mistake. You yourself said it, Ravana has only 10 heads. Now, what made him say that is perhaps the inner fear and paranoia that he keeps 100 heads in his mind, perhaps, because it's the dragon, it's a mythical dragon that has 100 heads, and you knock off one head and 10 others spring up. So maybe he's really afraid, and just as the Congress is, and he blurted it out perhaps, and that is what I think it is. Now, considering not just Gujarat, but look at the kind of work that Mr. Kharge has on his hands. Look at the splinter groups in the party. Look at the splits in the party. Just today we saw the body language of Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. You think just by making them stand together, the rifts are going to be bridged? Look at what is happening today in Karnataka and Congress. The
Ms.
CM
Karuna Gopal, if I may.
So he has such a huge thing.
Yes, Ms. Gopal, if I may. Ms. Karuna Gopal, no, one more, Mr. Sapal. Ms. Karuna Gopal, if I may. If calling Ravan or Maut Ka Saudagar or Aukaat and Neech and all are bad words and must not be used, then Jersey cow, 50 crore ki girlfriend and Shehzada are not necessarily very decorated, not a very decorated honor, right? Yes. At the same time, would you then say that the BJP has a better capability of converting an insult into a political opportunity than perhaps, say, a Congress party? I mean, they could have also gone to people with all these barbs.
Absolutely.
But perhaps they were not able to convert this into the political currency that you do. Would you admit that way your party is stronger?
Yes, I mean, it is not an admission. It is with pride, I will say, that any barbed attack like that comes our way.
You convert the barb into an opportunity.
Will be certainly turned.
I think they can't be more
Is this a skill set of the BJP?
That is how the country is being led today. We have governance That is
Wow, what a
phenomenal today.
shameless
And every
admission.
little problem has been converted into an opportunity. So that is our governance model, and that is the way we defend ourselves. And our leaders are equipped to manage and
So if there will be a
manage
Baab
the
or a
opposition.
Gali, the BJP will be in a far better position to convert it into
Thank
a
you. Let me
political
come in.
opportunity than the Congress party. Ajay Umat and then the others.
Let me
please.
also comment.
Yeah,
on
one
this, because
more.
This is an excellent
I
admission
led
by
with you,
Congress,
Mr. Sapal.
BJP
Let me ask the other guests also to speak. There are three more who haven't spoken. Ajay Umat. I'll come back.
Sanket, before 2 days, a very senior leader of Bharatiya Janata Party called Rahul Gandhi Saddam Hussein. And he said, look at his beard, he looks like Saddam Hussein.
Well said.
But Congress Party did not react at that point because, Congress Party focused only on issues like human development issues, unemployment and other things. But BJP was looking for an opportunity, where Congress can be trapped into their this thing. And this is not for the first time. Then I remember, Sanket, that Digvijay Singh also in past told Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and I do criticize that such derogatory words should not be used for Prime Minister. He said, I am calling Narendra Modi Ravan because he is an Ahankari Puri. And he said this, but he could get away because at that time there was no election. But BJP was looking for this opportunity, and last night they were very happy that finally they got a ball and now they can play around it, and they wanted to spin this issue. And BJP has selectively picked that word, and BJP is very happy because I and you, all media people, are spending time discussing on this. So BJP has a habit of changing narrative and spinning the issue so that you can come into their trap rather than you discuss about
The point that we are discussing is we have, I think, we must come to this admission that these are political comments in political season that all political stakeholders make, right? But do you feel that converting this and encashing it into a political opportunity is an art which the BJP performs better than the Congress party?
Yeah.
And that is all there is to this game. Everybody does it.
Yes.
The BJP converts it better.
BJP strike rate is superb in this aspect. But let me tell you, Sanket, this time that people in Gujarat now they are taking such things with pinch of a salt, and they are simply not bothered.
So you're saying this time around it may not work out.
This time it may not work out. In 2007, it worked in favor of BJP when Sonia Gandhi said that Narendra Modi is a maut ka saudagar, and he turned out to be a vote ka saudagar. But I am observing since last 24 hours, this happened last night only, and I am observing people, in Gujarat are simply not reacting at all. Earlier, there used to be a reaction that, people in Gujarat will say it's a question of Gujarat Asmita, Gujarat pride. But now they say that, Gali Galoch dono party mein chalti rehti hai, and now they are not uttering a word. Earlier, there was, you will find, people fuming with that, how can you speak about this thing, about my Prime Minister. But now people are used to it that, in political season, aisa hi chalta hai. So I don't think that on ground, it will cut an ice in favor of BJP.
Okay, here is the thing. Before I go across to the other two guests, is a very interesting point that Ajay Umat mentioned. And in all fairness, because this has happened in this very election season, let's play out that personal barb by Hemanta Biswa Sarma against Rahul Gandhi. Because these are comments that have been made by both political parties. And this is, it's a freewheeling, abusive rant that some political leaders get into for one another, and then some take advantage of this. So what did Hemanta Biswa Sarma say? Let's listen it.
अभी मैं देखा उनका चेहरा भी चेंज हो गया है कि ठीक है, चेहरा अगर थोड़ा चेंज हुआ है कोई बुरी नहीं है, लेकिन आपको चेहरा चेंज ही करना है तो थोड़ा वल्लभ भाई पटेल जैसा कर लो, या तो नहीं तो जवाहरलाल नेहरू जैसा कर लो, वो भी चलेगा। गांधी जी जैसा होने से तो और अच्छा है, लेकिन आपका चेहरा सद्दाम हुसैन जैसा क्यों होते जा रहा है?
Okay, Geeta Bhatt, this, Mr. Sapal, I'll come to you. This Babs, Aukaat, Ravan converted into an opportunity. But then that doesn't justify comments like Shehzada, 50 crore ki girlfriend, Jersey ka, and in a very recent context, in the context of Gujarat, Saddam Hussein. Now this is equally, what was the context in which Saddam Hussein was said?
Well, Sanket ji, in this country, one thing is for sure that the people of this country, they do not appreciate any kind of an abuse or arrogance that is shown by political leadership of any party, irrespective of which party they belong to. But the point is that when very senior politician, or irrespective of whoever is a politician, when they are making some derogatory remarks for the Prime Minister of the country, one thing we have to accept that Prime Minister today, people of the country, they really look up to him and have a lot of faith in him. And because of which, when such kind of remarks are made, it is something which is not, taken very well by the people of the country, especially, I'm sure, since he belongs to Gujarat. In Gujarat, irrespective of, of the observation that has been made by the journalists from Gujarat, I personally feel that people in Gujarat are not going to
Professor,
like
but
it
I just
when
told
it
you
is
that
being,
while there is a comment like Ravan and Aukaat that have been made by the Congress, knowing fully well that there is a party which will capitalize and convert this into a political opportunity quick and fast, as it has been done in the past. Does this justify statements like Saddam Hussein?
No, you see the condescending,
Inversing your
manner
very
in
logic.
which,
Even Saddam Hussein comment should be wrong, no?
You see, taking some, making these kind of, light barbs across the party, they do happen. But
Congress can also turn around and say Ravan was a light barb.
that will, the people of Gujarat will tell whether it was a light barb or not. But definitely, you see, the Congress already, it is in large number of states, it has become a kind of a fringe party. And it is this kind of a condescending manner in which the senior politicians.
Sure, let's get in Manisha Priyam's view and her understanding of this.
So I would just look at the costs and benefits of speaking this kind of language for the Congress party first.
Yeah.
The Congress party knows that it doesn't pay off for them to win the electoral arena, especially in Gujarat, when they use language like this for Mr. Modi. And Mr. Kharge is a very seasoned politician. Having known that and still said this, it means definitely, as you saw the Congress spokesperson at the very beginning of the show, what happens is that the discussion then goes around Mallikarjun Kharge. And Mallikarjun Kharge ji has recently taken over as the president of the Congress party. This leads to a lot of media focus around his statement, and it takes it away from a Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi type of battle, something that the Congress has very clearly avoided in Gujarat. So it to whatever calculation, it pays off for the Congress party. Now, as far as these statements are concerned, I have seen Narendra Modi ji, even in 2012, whether these barbs were used or not, his statements or his speeches on the borders of Pakistan where he said, Mara Bapa to Sarpancho na tha. Now, his statements that he does not belong to a political dynasty, a political family, and that he is not born with a silver spoon, that's something that however much Ummat ji says, that the Gujarati public does not lap this up. I believe that the Gujarati public laps this up, and they believe that Narendra Modi represents non-dynastic politics, and that's something that the Congress has this time around, tried to step aside and put Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge on the first, on the presidential position. So whether the Congress will be able to reap its benefits, I doubt. But as far as Narendra Modi is concerned, he's played on this pitch many times. He's won it many times over, and he'll win it again. Now, as far as the language is concerned, surprisingly, the regional parties especially, but now I see even the national parties, pay a premium. Whoever goes out to the electorate with the most arrogant language that can polarize the electorate, it's like Bada Saab kuch hoga, yeah, what was that Gabbar Singh dialogue, kya samjha tha, ye kuch hoga type of thing. The Delhi elections were a great example, a bad example, a very bad language having been used. And I decry very much the language issue is something that the top leaders must keep their chieftains.
Leaders, even the election commission, because you're right.
Yes,
you're right. I mean,
add that Ravan is not a good thing to use for a prime minister, by the way. It's not a good thing. I mean, the most hated figure in Indian mythology, ask Bachcha and he'll tell you, it's Ravan.
Mr. Sapal.
Ravan.
Mr. Sapal, in that context, was it
quickly?
Could the words of Mr. Kharge have been better? Could he have avoided certain references?
I think 2-3 points have come up. Number one, about Himanta Biswa Sharma. He went from Congress party. He's a new convert in BJP RSS. He's trying to outdo the divisive and hate language of BJP, trying to prove his loyalty. So no more comments are required on him. As far as this is concerned, are we talking of the same Mr. Modi who in last elections baselessly charged a former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and a former Vice President of India, Mr. Hamid Ansari, saying that they had connived with Pakistan in Pakistan ambassador's house, and later Arun Jaitley ji had to apologize on behalf of Prime Minister in Rajya Sabha? Are we talking of the same man? This is a person who's used to say anything in elections, and we make issues of what opposition party says. What did Mr. Kharge say? Now the issue is a very simple one. That today it is questioned, Mr. Modi always bats on the issue of Gujarati pride. Now you go to Gujarat this time. I just came from there yesterday. People are saying, yes, we are proud because we always build upon what is given to us, and what has happened to Modi ji in Delhi, that he's selling off everything that India built in the last 75 years. This is very un-Gujarati.
Quick last 10-second comment of Karuna Gopal, please.
People are saying, what has happened?
Ms. Gopal, last comment. So how is Ravan and Aukaat wrong, but Saddam Hussein right? Ms. Karuna Gopal.
It's not question.
So before I come to that, I think Mr. Sapal made one statement about Himanta Biswa Sarma. He has really nothing to prove today. The loyalty, etc., he has really nothing to prove. And Ms. Manisha just now mentioned about the issue between Rahul Gandhi and Kharge ji trying to prove the leadership. I think that is the issue.
Okay.
If he's making a statement, if he's making such kind of statements, he wants to grab the eyeball.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I've completely run out of time, but this point on language, deteriorating language is definitely a huge issue. I mean, towards the end of every election, you have some of these comments that are made. Now, the first phase of polling, campaigning for phase 1 is over. Phase 2 remains. Are we to hear more such barbs? And who will convert this into political currency? Let's see. Good night.